What's up guys, WWE Fan Talk here. Today I'm bringing you guys a closer look at the brand new ringside exclusive Defining Moments box set. You can pick every single Elite in this box set up at Ringside Collectibles using discount code TANNER, TANNER, all caps, to save 10% at checkout. So the cool thing about this Defining Moments series or set is that you don't need to get the box set if you don't want to. So if you don't want the Bret, or you don't want the Shawn, or you don't want the Mankind or Cody, and if you just want to pick one of them up, then you can pick one of them up. They're sold separately, but I think it's cooler getting it in the box set because this is legendary. Are we ever going to get a box set like this again in the Defining Moments line? I'm not sure. It's cool that we're getting the Defining Moments line back. And how cool would it be if we had a World Championship with this logo? I just thought of that. Go right here. If it was kind of spread out, it would look like a World Championship logo. But anyways, I did see this at the WrestleMania Superstore when I did go to WrestleMania 39 this year. I think it was like 2 months ago? And I did see every one of these figures up close, and I am so freaking pumped to finally see it in person. You open it right up just like this, and then the first thing you see is 4 figures. And the first thing you're going to notice is that the boxes look very slim, and I was very surprised. When I got this in the mail, I was like, how are all 4 figures going to fit in this one box? I was like, what the heck? So anyways, to my surprise, smaller boxes. So let's take the first figure out. The first figure we're taking out and taking a closer look at is the Defining Moments. I'm trying not to get this glaring. Is the ringside exclusive Defining Moments Bret the Hitman Hart. Looking freaking fantastic. There's the side. There's the back. Pause it if you want to read that read up. There's Bret Hart. There's the other side, so very cool. The next figure we get in here is the Mick Foley, or aka Mankind. 2 different head sculpts right there. This is probably one of the ones I think people are looking forward to the most, just because it's Hell in a Cell. And I'm not sure if there's blood on his mouth, but there is a tooth in his nose, which is pretty cool. There's the read up on the back. Pause it if you want to read it. Very cool. There's the Hell in a Cell moment. Very epic. And then we are also getting a brand new Shawn Michaels, which to me, this is the second most anticipated figure in this set, just for me personally. Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. And then the figure that I think everybody is going to pick up this entire set for is the Cody with the bruised chest. This is the story, right? He had to leave last year because he tore his pectoral muscle and caused all this bruising, and he still continued with the Hell in a Cell match. And I just think it's absolutely nuts that they're giving us this figure with this bruised up look, because I don't think they've really ever done that. I think Jazzwares is the only one, the only company that's ever given us like blood or bruising or anything like that. So it's really cool to see Mattel giving us something different, especially in this Cody attire. This is one of my favorite Cody's attire with the half white, half blue. But we're going to take a closer look at it today. We do not get the America Nightmare, if you guys remember that, back in his re-debuted Elite. I think what was it? Elite Series 101, I think it was. But anyways, very cool looking Cody. There's the side. There's the back. Read up if you want to read it. Pause it. There's the other side. And yeah, let's crack all 4 figures open right now. All 4 Defining Moments Elites. And I gotta say, this is one of the coolest and most standout sets in the Defining Moments land that I've ever collected, in my opinion. So we're going to start over here to our far left. We have Mankind, a.k.a. Mick Foley, from the night he got thrown off the Hell in a Cell by Undertaker. And I got to say, I really, really like this figure a lot. I do like the sleeve mold right here with the arms, with the double-jointed pinless joints. Looks really nice. Looks pretty jacked. I like how each sleeve is differently cut. This one's rolled up, and this one, oh, his head just popped off. And this one's just, I don't know, it's kind of like cut up, I guess you could say. And then we do get it's kind of semi-soft. You're not going to get a whole lot of articulation out of it. This t-shirt right here, the rubber. The tie is molded to the t-shirt. I do like the pant leg mold. I think it looks pretty nice, and I think it looks accurate to Mick Foley. It would be cool to get pinless joints here next. I know we got them on the arms, but it would be nice to get them on the legs as well. And then we get our classic black boots, but we also got some metallic silver for the lace holes right there, which looks really nice. So I think the most important thing and the standout thing about this figure is the head sculpt. We do get a removable mask right here with Mankind, but I think the figure head sculpt that I'm going to be displaying this figure with will probably be this one right here, just because we get that tooth in the nose hole, we get the missing teeth, It almost looks like they tried to make his mouth look like it's bloody. Because it looks like just a dark... I don't know, in person it looks more bloody than it does on camera. On camera it almost looks like it's just his pink lips and pink tongue. But in person it almost just kind of looks bloody, but I could be wrong. But if your tooth was shoved through your mouth up into your nose, I'm sure your mouth would be bloody as well. So let's take this head sculpt off and pop the Mick Foley one on. And when all is said and done, after that match, this is what he looked like. Now I'm curious, was this when he got thrown off the Hell in a Cell? Or was this when he got thrown through the Hell in a Cell? At what point did the tooth go through his nose? I need to go back and watch that match. But this is by far my favorite Mankind figure in my collection. It is my favorite Mankind match that this figure represents, so this is my favorite Mankind figure. So, very cool Mankind. He also comes with mic holding hands as well as these open chopping hands that we've seen a million times. So, very cool. Next up over here, we do have the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And this is probably one of my all-time favorite elites, Shawn Michaels wise. I think that it might be one of the best in general, just because of the, well, number one, we get the awesome tights with the Texas inspired gear. We also get the cloth goods entrance gear, which I think is the highlight of this figure, because we don't always get that with Shawn Michaels. We always get the rubberized entrance gear, but this one is cloth, and you can articulate him with his entrance gear. He also comes with this really cool Undertaker-esque looking hat, very nice. Of course, it's not Undertaker because Shawn Michaels wore it. And then you do remove the top piece from the back. I do recommend popping off his head first, so it doesn't get in the way. And then we can take that off right there, and then the pants, very similarly, you can undo it from the back, straighten out his feet, will give you less trouble, pull them off, and there we go. Pop the head sculpt back on, and boom, there we have Shawn Michaels on the night that he defeated, I believe it was Psycho Sid, to regain the WWF Championship. And it would have been nice to get the WWF title, or WWE title, with the Shawn Michaels. I think that would have completed it, full ensemble. But this is a very nice looking Shawn Michaels. I do like when Shawn Michaels wears the red tights, and we do get red tights from Mattel. And I think the blues and the whites really pop with this red gear. It looks really nice. It says Heartbreak Kid on the back. Very cool. If I do sound really weird and I'm stumbling on my words, folks, and it does sound like I'm out of breath, it is because I have a cold right now, just because California is going through this weird cold spell, and it hasn't been this consistently cold throughout the summer since like the early 1960s. So the weather is kind of affecting everybody around me, which eventually affects me. So I have a cold, and it's hard to breathe out of my nose. So kind of having a hard time speaking more than usual right now. So just, bear with me. But anyways, this is a very nice looking Shawn Michaels. They give us the chest hair. They painted the arm tattoo right there. And let's see, did they paint the... See, I think everybody always talks about this, but this peg right here, it would have been nice to get red. It's not that big of a deal, but we did get the skin tone color right there. But popping it back in, see what I'm talking about? Now it looks like part of his hand tape is peeled off. That is kind of frustrating. But it's not that big of a deal. And head sculpt looks pretty nice as well. I think the hair looks great. Looks just like young Shawn. So very cool looking Shawn Michaels. He comes with 2 fisted hands, and he also comes with 2 mic holding hands right here, as usual. So very cool Shawn Michaels. Now moving on to the figure I think everybody is looking forward to the most, and I think it's going to be the best selling figure out of this whole box set if bought individually. It is this Cody Rhodes right here from the night he tore, or he didn't tear it that night. He probably tore it the day before, for all we know. But anyways, there's a whole story on it on Logan Paul's podcast. But look at that bruised pec right there. Like, it is insane. A lot of people get this wrong. He actually did tear his pec off. I think it was off the bone, wasn't it? I think it was off the bone. Tore his pec. I know he did tear his pec, though. And that caused bruising all the way down his arm. And that is accurate. If you go back and watch the Hell in a Cell match, it does go all the way down his arm. How cool would it have been, though? Because, like, this entire part of his body was more swollen than this side, obviously, because it's bruised. During the match, it would have been cool if we got a bigger arm. How hilarious would that have been? But overall, really cool. I do like the bruising detail right there. Same head sculpt as we got with the previous Cody. Same neck tattoo detail that people don't like, where it spills over onto the actual head sculpt. And then we do get this cowbell rope right here. I don't know if it's like a cowbell rope his daddy used to use, and they did use it in the match, and I don't know why my camera is not focusing. But anyways, you get the point, and it is actually a kind of a stretchy, rubber, flexible material. So if you wanted to strap it to one guy, and then this side strap it to the other, and you wanted to have a full match, you totally could. So very cool accessory. I'm very glad we're getting something as unique as this, so that's pretty rad. It would have been cool if we got the sledgehammer with Cody as well, because, I mean, that was the finish of the match. But here we have the Cody, looking very cool. He does come up with his weightlifting belt that a lot of people love to bash. It says Nightmare, same one as before. We got the nice stitching. We don't get the buckles, but dude, I don't really care, because I'm not sitting there staring at it. I mean, we can get that buckle detail, but if it bothers you enough, then you can always get the Jazzwares one and put it on the Cody. But I like this one. I think it's more accurate. I do have a bunch of weightlifting belts in my house, so I know what they look like, and to me this looks like a weightlifting belt. So anyways, moving back to the figure, right over here, he does have these nice white and blue tights. It would be cool if we got all white tights with the details, because these white boots with the white tights look absolutely fresh. We get the American Nightmare details going throughout, looking very cool. And then it splits off into his blue side. Very epic. It's the same exact designs on each side. It's just the colors are swapped. But very, very cool. This is very similar to his previous Elite, but it is also very different because the designs are not exactly the same. It's a very similar gear, but it's not completely the same. So very, very nice, Cody. And I think everybody was genuinely surprised when they revealed this, because I don't think anybody was really expecting them to give us a bruised chest Cody. Like, how often do we get blood on our figures? I mean, this isn't like, you know, blood outside of his body. It's blood on the inside of his body. But it's still bruising, and it's still cool, and it's still violent in a sense. So very freaking epic. And I can see a lot of people swapping out the torso and giving themselves an alternative Cody. I know we're getting a ton of Codys, so like I don't think there's really any point in swapping the torso. I think we're going to get a ton of Codys in the future. But for the sake of this particular gear, people might be swapping it out, because I think he's worn it since. But very cool Cody. He does come with a pair of mic holding hands. He also comes with 2/5. So one with the tape, one without the tape. And then we get these grappling hands right here. Very cool. I don't think anybody's going to be using those. I think everybody uses the mic holding hands and the fists. I love to only use the mic holding hands because, you know, they're the most usable, and you can have them hold stuff, and it's just the most realistic, because when you're walking around, your hand's not always this much open. You're not always making a fist. Your hand's always kind of like here, which is kind of, you know, in a sense, kind of like what that looks like. But anyways, moving on over to the last figure in this set, we have Bret the Hitman Hart, looking freaking dope. And I was not really looking forward to this figure previously when I saw it at WrestleMania Superstore, but getting it in person, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I do love this leather jacket accessory, and I'm glad that just because they gave Shawn Michaels the cloth gear doesn't mean that they're going to give us a rubber accessory for this Bret the Hitman Hart. And I'm very glad that they gave us this jacket right here. It says Hitman on the back. Very, very cool. And then this is an all-pink Bret Hart, which I do not think I have in my collection. I think they just did a Target Ultimate figure, which I did see the other day. I did not pick it up just because, to me, I didn't think it was worth the purchase. I am a WWE figure collector. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I, didn't think it was cool or something. It's just I already had the Ultimate Edition Bret Hart, and to me that one was better than the all-pink one. And I didn't really feel like it was necessary, especially because we were getting an Elite in all-pink. So I know there's probably differences in the figure and whatnot, but it is what it is. So a very weird thing right here is that they're giving us tape on the arms.
probably to protect the paint on the figure from getting stained by the jacket. But I've never had that problem with Mattel figures, only Jazzwares. But very, very sick looking Bret. I don't think, I might have had an all pink Bret before. Leave it in the comments down below. When was the last time we got an all pink Bret? This is absolutely freaking fresh. I mean, just look at that. I love the white and the black lines coming throughout. It says Hitman on the back. Same thing on the other side. And then we get his logo on his chest. This is what I love about Bret Hart. He never had, like, crazy gear. Like, if you look at it, it's almost simplistic. We just get a base color and a few designs throughout. And that's it. And he rocks it super well. We do get the pink knee pads. I'm glad they didn't jip us of those. We get the nice boots. We get the black, pink, and white. And then we do get the removable shades right there. And I think that looks just like Bret Hart. So I have a story. I was actually at a convention back when the first Double or Nothing happened in Vegas. I think it was StarCast. I was in Vegas working one of the booths. And I went to Double or Nothing, of course. But the night before Double or Nothing, one of my buddies, or the guy who I was working for at the time, was like, hey, we're going to go up and we're going to do a signing in this hotel room. And it's going to be freaking epic. And so I was like, okay, I mean, like, who could it be, right? Like, whoever it is pretty cool. So I ended up meeting a few AEW wrestlers in that hotel room and getting to talk to them. And they're very cool people. But the one that surprised me the most, in comes walking in, Bret the Hitman Hart, and the first person he sees is me. And I'm just sitting there like, what? And he looks at me, he sticks his hand out, he's like, hi, I'm Bret. And I was like, I nearly crapped my pants. I had no idea what to say. I had no idea what to do. I was just genuinely surprised. But back to the figure right here. I think it looks epic, and it's probably not my favorite figure in my collection, or not my collection. Probably not my favorite in this box set. Favorite figure in this box set. But I do think it is pretty sick, and I think if I had to rank them, and least to greatest, I would probably go. And how, in order that I would get them, I would probably get the Bret last. Then I would probably go with Mick Foley, then Shawn, then Cody. Personally, I just think that this Mick Foley, I'm pretty surprised by it, and I like the specific moment in his career. I think this is like one of the highlights of his career, so it's a figure that I really want in my collection, and something I was really surprised of. Also, a detail I forgot to mention, there are thumbtacks on his back. That is just, that bumps it up even more. But very, very cool, Mick Foley. And then, second place, Shawn Michaels. First place, Cody. That's probably how I'd rank them. I mean, I think the coolest looking figure probably comes down to Cody, Shawn, and Bret. But I think in order that I would get them, it would be, I'd get Cody first, then Shawn, then Mick Foley, then Bret Hart. But you can pick this box set up and each of these figures individually at Ringside Collectibles using my discount code, which is Tanner, Tanner, all caps, to save 10% at checkout. 10% may not seem like a lot, but at the end of the day, when you're getting a ton of figures, 10% does save you money, and it is something. So I would definitely use it. Leave it in the comments down below. Which is your favorite figure in this set? Are you planning on picking up any of these figures in this box set? I recommend picking up the box set in general because you're going to get that awesome box to put on display. And every single one of these figures, you're not going to want to pass up because they're going to be super rare and hard to find eventually. And the Ringside exclusives, not to mention. So, make sure to pick up these figures today at Ringside Collectibles. Click like, comment, and subscribe on this YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you turn on that little bell notification thing so you see when I upload new belt video reviews, which are coming eventually. So, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. WWE Fan Talk Show. God bless. Out.